Hello and welcome back to Scriptcase by Jamie. And today, well, I thought I'd share an update on Lanman because I seem to have a little more time on my hands these days. It's what I've been doing in between and, well, most of the time. Anyway, so as you're going to see in the next version, I will be skipping version 2 and jumping straight to version 3. And you'll be seeing why once we dive into the platform a little bit. So I'm just going to show it off a little bit as to where it is, and then we'll see in a moment. So I'll be right back. So hello and welcome back to Scriptcase by Jamie. My name is Jamie, of course, and I'm here with the latest version of Lanman. Now in the last week or just over New Year, I gave you all a little gift, and that was Lanman version 1. Now here in version 3, as I just mentioned, I kind of skipped version 2 and I've gone straight to version 3. There are a few reasons for that, and you will see that as I show you what's happening. Okay, so I still have some bits and pieces to finish, so I won't be releasing this new version until next week, but I thought I'd give you an update and show you what it looks like, and then maybe you can give me some feedback in the comments. It would be nice, and I can maybe have some more ideas as what else to add, if there is anything else needed, if I should add anything else. I think I've nearly covered everything. But yeah, we'll see that as we go in. So let's dive in and check it out, shall we? So as you'll notice, first of all, I have the whole screen share today because it's much sexier to use like this. I have made modifications for smaller screens because I went to use it on my laptop and, well, I didn't like the map very much. I couldn't see anything. So I have made quite a few changes. So the first thing you'll notice is we now have a login page. So I have added user security. Okay, so not the typical group security we have. I didn't see the need for that, as typically you're only going to have one admin that uses this. And of course you can add extra users. You have the new user option here. You can disable it in the background as you can normally. So if I log in, I will then have the new dashboard. So I've created a whole new dashboard as well as a few new interfaces, added a whole new list of features and functionalities. So anyway, here on the first page on the dashboard, you're basically going to notice that we have some network data up here. We can see our data volume, how many nodes we have, our network integrity, as well as some buttons up here to enable or disable features that we can then enable. And we need to confirm all the time if we want to enable or disable something. And we have here also then our main events of health and errors that are there, so we can actually see that in our main view straight away. We have then also download and upload speed, so the Python scripts are being rewritten, which is why it won't be ready till next week, because really, well, I added 4 scripts in total. So the SNMP was pretty much ready. I still need to test it, but in general, it's there. But then when I started adding it, of course, I was being locked out of the database, too many connections, because I had so much going on, as you're going to probably see why. So we have here the download and upload speed. So this is then obviously updated via the Python script within the database. We have here the latency monitor. Now this is live, and that will then check the latency for you live, the availability of your assets, as well as the distribution down the bottom here. And you'll notice here the service integrity matrix. Now this is an extra monitoring system that I added, so it will actually monitor websites or anything else that you want, SSL certificates and so forth, and not just your own network assets, because that's really the whole idea of this platform. But I thought I'd add that in there as well, because typically I'm always needing that, and instead of using then multiple platforms, I can have that all in one view here. So I added here then also the control interface. Now I hope that is okay, because it seemed like my UPS just switched over. So I hope you still had my screen there, and it's still going. Okay, back again. Right, so within this new control interface, we have a list of all of our assets, as well as then some buttons here to access various features and functionalities. Now, I will be making further adjustments here, so that's something I'm still working on, but that is already pretty much there. And if I just open up, say, one of these, for instance, you're going to see that you have some nice new tools there so that you can actually scan the ports on this machine, as well as other features and functionalities here. Now, we can also switch that over to the services. So we have a service matrix also, and then can access our services directly from here, as well as other features. And there's, of course, a search up here. So I can search, for instance, via different assets. So here, for instance, if I search for an Asus, it will bring up the Asus devices. I can also filter via the actual location of the device. So this is then via the physical location of the asset. So I thought that's quite nice. And that is, of course, then one main control interface of all of our assets. Now, the network map, you probably remember this because this was the main feature from the version 1. I've made a lot of changes here and added quite a few extra features. So you notice first of all at the top here, we have now an asset count as well as count of our discovered devices. And if I click on either of those, it will go to those applications straight away, and we can have a bit of an overview. Now, we have here also the search. Now, the search does actually zoom in nicely now, and it highlights the assets you're viewing and so forth. So that is pretty nice there, I think. And like you see, it actually closes here the sidebar for you and gives you a bit more of a view. And yes, the sidebar bar here, well, that increases and decreases or closes and opens here on the side now. So you have more of a view when you're on smaller screens. Now I can zoom in and zoom out beautifully. And then, of course, one of the other features I added here, I changed the way these services here are displayed. And of course, the big one in the room, which I hadn't even mentioned, is of course the theme, right? The whole style of it. What do you think? Do you like it? Does it look good? I think it looks great. I hope you like it. And if not, well, that's what it is. I hope you like it anyway. So here we have then our Docker host, and then from here we have various tools. So I can actually open up all of these tools from here again, which I have then also available in other applications. And then, of course, you're going to see some of the other features that I've been adding in here. And, well, I will discuss those maybe a bit more on the full release. But it gives you an idea. Now, we also have a switch view up here, and then all of the assets here are organized straight away via your, via the physical location again. And, of course, we have all the discovered devices down here. And we have some functionalities here, so we can access those details straight away. And we can change the size of windows. We can go full screen with that as well. And of course, we can make any changes that we want. So that it's a bit more functional. And like you see, there are a few adjustments and changes I'll still be making so that it looks a bit cleaner and better. So we have our network assets, and on the forms, I've been making adjustments as well. I've been adding this functionality to the buttons that I added a long time ago. Because on some of the applications, well, I was just running out of space. So I thought that would be good, and that was specifically here on the asset. So you see some extra features and options in here. Like I said, I'll go over those a bit more when I actually release it next week. And for now, I think, well, you're seeing what it's like. I hope you like it anyway. And of course, like I said, leave me some comments down below. So I added also a wizard for the assets. So maybe you prefer to use the wizard. And then we have our asset view. Now I may add one or two extra features here, but I think we're good. We can activate or enable a trace here, for instance, now, and that will then trace how many hops you have from asset to asset and so forth, which is quite nice. We still have our connections, no change there. The builder, of course, has just been restyled to fit everything else. We then also have all of our discovered devices with some options here. I may add one or two extra charts in there so we can see more information. And we can then also view the trace hops there and so forth when we have them available. So if I click on that now, it will just open that up. And well, we need to enable that on the discovered device first, and then it will trace how many hops there are and it will display it for you. You know, stuff like that. I'm not sure if it's really worthwhile for internal networks because, of course, the majority of things is just going to be one hop, but it's there anyway. Okay, so we have then our monitoring. Now the monitoring dashboard we have here. So this then monitors then the website availability and status. We have that there as a nice overview. And then we can then filter via nodes up here and so forth. We have a quick overview at the top here. And then we also have the list of nodes that we are monitoring. And then within the monitoring nodes, it's taking a little time there to load, we can then, of course, add further nodes and tell what we want to actually monitor, whether that be, for instance, well, first of all, the type, if we want to be notified, if we want to monitor the ping, the SSL, or the HTTP status, as well as set timeouts and so forth. So we can add all of those there. We still have the services, so there's been no changes here. I'm thinking of making a couple adjustments here, but I think with the control view here, I think that's good already. Now, I did also add the possibility of adding documents, so you can upload documents and assign them to your assets or services. Of course, for manuals and guides and documentation, licenses, or whatever you may have, you can then also assign them to an asset, and that way, well, you have everything together, right? And of course, I've added a whole host of tools. Now, for the tools, we have a domain recon. We can check a domain, who is, resolve the records. We can check SSL certificates. We can ping anything from here. We also have a port scanner, so we can scan ports from here. A network mapper, which is ideally for larger networks. A local scan, which works quite nicely. Identify, so we can identify an asset, as well as I added a load of help information for the options and settings and the purposes of everything. So that's all in here as well. And I hope that then, well, it seems to be nearly complete, I think. It's getting there. We also still have the purge here, and of course everything has been restyled and adjusted according to, well, the new style and theme that I've added into this. Well, I hope you like it anyway. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments if you're looking forward to it. And of course, if you want it, I would like to know. It would be great to know if I'm making this just for myself, just for the fun of it, or if somebody's actually going to use it. And if you are, well, go ahead. Let me know what your thoughts are. If there's anything else I'm missing in this. If there are any bugs, of course, you can check out version 1. And once I release this version 3 next week, then you can, of course, let me know of any issues that are still happening. Hopefully, I've caught everything by then. I think so, because from what I've been testing and everything, it's all been going quite well. And of course, I've been resolving any issues along the way. So anyway, I hope you really like this new interface. I hope you love the new style. I love it. I think I said that a couple times already. And of course, I hope that maybe you're looking forward to having a whole new network interface for you to play with. Now, I should note, I have added here the control center. I think it was one of these here. Where was it? Where we can actually go and access, reboot, wake up the device, as it even shut down the device, so we can enter the IP address in here, username, the password authentication, whether it's with an SSH key or whether it's with the password. Now those are indications you would add within the asset. And then of course you have the different operating systems that you can then use, Windows or Linux, and it will then configure the script accordingly. Now, something else I did add was actually a functionality for Docker, because as you notice, something I haven't actually added in the interface yet. It's just the application I've been creating, and it will then actually give us all of the services and everything for Docker containers and allow us to restart them, hopefully, if I get it right. And that should be pretty interesting too. Anyway, that's what it is. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you like the look of version 3. And as I mentioned, any comments, any requests, any feedback, please do leave them down in the comments. And of course, if you have any work, instead of me, doing this for boredom because I've got nothing else to do let me know, of course, because, yeah, I think it's pretty tough for everyone at the moment, isn't it? Everyone's being laid off and everyone's having their projects cancelled and yada yada. It's what it is. It's the time, I guess. And of course, World War III might be just around the corner. I think maybe that's really the main panic in the world right now. So anyway, I hope this platform puts a smile on your face. It's been putting one on mine. And well, with that, have an awesome day, and I'll catch you in the next video with version 3 being released next week. Thanks very much for watching, and until the next time.